Now let's take a closer look at two massive congressional races in our area, and more specifically, the money behind them. Oregon's 5th District and Washington's 3rd are both classified as toss-ups by the nonpartisan Cook Political Report. They could help shape the balance of power in the U.S. House of Representatives. Just this week, the campaigns filed their latest fundraising reports with the Federal Election Commission. Here's what we learned starting in Oregon. Democrat Janelle Bynum raised a massive $3.4 million from mid-July through the end of September. That's an Oregon record for the most money raised in a quarter by a federal candidate in state history. Such a huge haul of donations means Bynum has now raised close to $5.9 million in this race. Her opponent, Republican Congresswoman Lori Chavez-DeRemer, raised close to $1.4 million in this most recent quarter. Still a significant amount that would put her into the top 10 in Oregon's history for quarterly fundraising, but it was dwarfed by Bynum's total. In all, Chavez-DeRemer has raised about $5.5 million in her re-election campaign. That means Bynum has now outraised Chavez-DeRemer in this race for Oregon's 5th by about $400,000. All of these donations make this election for Oregon's 5th District in 2024 the most expensive congressional race in state history, at $11 million and counting. You might be able to tell by the amount of ads that you're seeing. As of October 1st, Chavez-DeRemer had an advantage in cash on hand available to spend, with about $1.6 to Bynum's $1.2 million. The Chavez-DeRemer campaign says Congresswoman Chavez-DeRemer has enthusiasm, momentum, and a significant cash on hand advantage entering the final weeks of the campaign. Oregonians will re-elect Lori Chavez-DeRemer to continue serving as a common-sense, solutions-oriented voice for them in Congress. The Bynum campaign told us this record-breaking fundraising haul further demonstrates the Bynum campaign's momentum and widespread support heading into the final stretch of the general election. Janelle has the funds, momentum, and support to defeat Lori Chavez-DeRemer for a third time this November. Now let's move to Southwest Washington, where Congresswoman Marie Gluesenkamp Perez is in a rematch with Republican challenger Joe Kent. The fundraising in this race is not close. Gluesenkamp Perez raised about $3.2 million from mid-July through the end of September, pushing her total to more than $10 million in individual contributions and transfers. That's a massive number, the most for any federal candidate from Washington this election cycle, reflective of Democrats' hope to keep the seat in a 3rd district that leans Republican. Speaking of, Republican Joe Kent raised $886,000 in this most recent quarter, pushing his total to about $2.3 million this election cycle. That's about a quarter of what his opponent has raked in, and Gluesenkamp Perez also holds a cash-on-hand advantage. I talked to Joe Kent about 2 weeks ago, who said he's ready to flip this seat. He told me he believes his campaign is better off financially now than they were 2 years ago, when he ultimately lost a very close race.
Well, unfortunately, in 2022, at this phase, we were flat broke. We spent all our money getting out of that really divided primary. We have a very unified Republican Party right now. We have for the last year or so. So I'm very grateful for that.
The FEC filings show most of Kent's donations have come through political action committees or transfers, while most of Gluesenkamp Perez's donations come from individual donations. Her campaign spokesperson told us, Marie has built bipartisan coalitions in Congress to lower costs for families, secure the border, and protect our rights. Support for that work is reflected in the 39,600 unique supporters who contributed to Marie's campaign in the last 3 months alone. Money is one thing, voter turnout is another, and a presidential election year only adds to these expectations.